Okay, let's dive into this. You know that feeling when you're walking through a city and a massive, vibrant piece of street art just completely stops you in your tracks? We've all been there. Well, in this explainer, we're going to figure out exactly how to elevate your mural photography from those casual, everyday snaps into truly professional shots. Seriously, have you ever felt the total disappointment of taking what you thought was an amazing photo of a beautiful mural, only to look at your phone and realize it's all skewed and weirdly unflattering? It's like the colors are there, sure, but the artwork itself looks completely distorted. Why does something that looks so magnificent in person almost always translate into a totally lackluster photo? Well, this brings us perfectly to our source material for today. We're looking at a super interesting journal entry from a photographer named Ang, dated June 30, 2026. Ang writes, "I have been taking some shots during my errands." I absolutely love this, right? Because it establishes this wonderful truth for us. Great creative opportunities, they're often hiding right there in the mundane moments of our daily lives. You literally don't need a crazy studio setup or some exotic location. Sometimes you just need a keen eye while you're literally just running out to grab groceries. Let's move to the mini masterclass and see how this builds into 3 specific ways to compose your shots. Okay, so the first strategy is to treat them exactly like landscapes. When you stumble on a sprawling mural covering an entire brick wall, you've got to frame it with the exact same reverence you would give a sweeping mountain range or a vast ocean horizon. You want to capture that massive scale, the immense width, and the really unique way the art interacts with the concrete jungle all around it. Now, moving on to a completely different approach, zooming in on the details. Instead of trying to cram the whole giant wall into your lens, try isolating specific sections. If you get really close or crop in tight, you can suddenly highlight the artist's intricate brushstrokes. You see the gritty texture of the spray paint on the rough brick, and those subtle color gradients that completely get lost when you shoot from way back. And here's the third technique, which I think is an absolute game changer. Include a human element. Think about it. When you add a person walking past the artwork, standing in front of it, or maybe just casting a silhouette in the foreground, you instantly inject a massive sense of scale. Suddenly, whoever is looking at your photo understands just how huge that mural actually is. Plus, it gives it this dynamic storytelling vibe. It goes from being just a flat picture of a painting to a real captured moment in time between the city and its art. So, the crucial point is understanding the low-angle tourist trap and the physical problem you'll run into. Eng actually ran into this exact issue and noted it directly in the journal, confessing, "I didn't manage to capture the mural from a level perspective. Instead, they are merely plain, low-angle tourist shots." Oh man, we have absolutely all been there. You're squished on a narrow sidewalk right underneath a 5-story mural. You're leaning backward, contorting your spine at some unnatural 45-degree angle, just desperately trying to squeeze the whole piece into your camera. And what do you get? A photo where the building looks like it's literally falling backward away from you. It is the ultimate awkward street photography experience. And this brilliantly illustrates the real spatial problem we're dealing with. The tourist approach puts you right at the base of the artwork, and that forces a dramatic, distorted low angle. It completely shrinks the top of the mural and wildly exaggerates the bottom. But the pro approach? That requires actually stepping back to achieve a flat, even, level perspective. That's how you respect the true proportions of the artwork, exactly the way the artist intended it to be seen. Which brings us to achieving that perfect level perspective, solving this dilemma once and for all. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how simple, yet totally transformative Eng's formula is. To get that pro shot, you need 2 things. First, physical distance. You literally have to cross the street, getting as far back from the wall as the urban environment will let you. Second, optical reach. You combine that physical distance with a telephoto lens. The telephoto lens compresses the space, flattening the image out so you lose that awful distortion. Meanwhile, crossing the street gives you the height and distance you need to look the artwork dead in the eye. That combo right there, that is your absolute ticket to a truly professional shot. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I've got a question for you. How will you frame the world on your next city errand? The beauty of Eng's notes is they remind us that art is literally everywhere, just waiting for us to capture it the right way. Next time you're stepping out for a coffee or running to the store, really look at those murals. Treat them like landscapes. Hunt for those intricate details, wait for that human element to walk by, and whatever you do, step across the street to level your perspective. The everyday world is just a canvas waiting for you to frame it right. Take these tips with you, and I absolutely can't wait to see how you shift your perspective.